Namaskar, my dear friends. Welcome to the lecture series of Computer-Aided Manufacturing. In our previous video, you will learn about the classification of NC systems, okay, and the axis designation of NC CNC machines. So how to define the different axes of the NC CNC machine. Okay. Now, here in this lecture, we are going to learn about the constructional detail of CNC machine. Okay. So, what are the objectives of these lectures? So, the objectives are the need for design changes in CNC machines compared to the conventional counterparts, the areas where design changes are required in CNC machines, how sliding friction is converted into the rolling friction in CNC machine, and advantages of using ball screw and nut assembly, and methods of swarf removal. Okay. Now, as we know that the basic design of conventional machines tool is not suitable for CNC machine. So many design changes are required for CNC machines as compared to their conventional counterparts due to a number of additional requirements which CNC machines are expected to meet. The manual hand wheel controls in the conventional machines are replaced by the axis drive motors in CNC machines. Okay. So if the axis drive motors have to operate against the heavy loads, so due to the friction at the sliding surfaces or due to the inertia of moving components or due to some other factors, the motors will have to develop the high power output, which in turn will ask for motors of large size. So in order to limit the size of drive motors and avoid the other related problems, the design of a CNC machine, it should be such as to minimize the friction between the sliding surfaces. So higher cutting speed and feed and improve the tooling used in the CNC machines is subject the machine tool to high multi-directional forces. Okay. It also the setup time and the changeover time between the jobs are considerably reduced in CNC machine, and most of the time of the machine is spent in actually cutting the materials. Okay, so therefore the higher percentage of cutting time will result in faster wear of slide ways, guide ways, lead screw, and gears and some other parts. Okay, so the higher percentage of cutting time means higher rates of metal removal requiring an efficient system for removal of swarf from the machining area. Okay, so in addition, for the safety of the operator working on the machine is very important in CNC machine. Okay, so in order to take care of the different, okay, about as we discuss and the many other factors, there is a need for the special consideration to be given to the design of CNC machine tools. Okay, so the different following areas where we have to give the concentration or the consider that are the machine structure, slide ways, spindle mountings, drive units, elements of transmission and positioning slides, location of transducers, tool and work holding devices, swarf removal, and safety. So these are the basic parts that we have to consider. Okay. Now let us see one by one. So first is the machine structure. Okay. So the design and construction of CNC machine, it should be such that it meets the higher precision and repeatability, okay, reliability and efficiency. Okay. The basic function or the how the machine structure should be: the load carrying and supporting member of the machine. It's subjected to the static and dynamic load, and this structure, it should not be deformed or the vibrate under the loads beyond the limits. Okay, so how the machine structure should be. Okay, now the main objectives of the machine structure, as we discussed, that is the high precision and repeatability, reliability and efficiency. Okay, so to meet this requirement of this high precision, repeatability and high efficiency, the numerically controlled machine tools, it should have a structure that is correctly designed to withstand the normal weight distribution. Okay, and the higher cutting speeds and feeds in CNC machines, it results in rapid acceleration and deceleration of the slides, and the machines are subjected to fluctuating and variable forces during the machining operations. The machine structures should not bend due to the heavy cutting forces. So all the parts of the machine structure should remain in relative relationship regardless of the magnitude and direction of the stresses developed due to these forces. Okay. So another source of that inaccuracy in the CNC machine is the thermal distortion of the machine structure. The design of machine tool structure, it should be such that the thermal distortion, it should be minimum. Okay, and the machine tool should be protected from the external heat sources and the internal heat sources. That is the headstock motor should be placed centrally so that the thermal effects are equally distributed. So that's why generally the CNC machines are kept in a air conditioning room. Okay, so the machine tool, it should be provided with an efficient and foolproof lubrication and cooling system. Okay, so the machine structure design, it should be such that the removal of swarf is easy and cheap, etc. Do not fall on the slide ways. Okay, so the machine structure should be such that. Now, next one is the slide ways. What is the function of the slide way? So in the conventional machine tool, there is a direct metal to metal contact between the slide ways. Okay, in conventional lathe, conventional milling, conventional shaping, or whatsoever is the machine. So in which the direct metal to metal contact between the slide way and the moving slides. So the slide movements are very slow and machine utilization is also low. So that's why this arrangement is adequate for the conventional machine tools. Okay. However, the demand on the slide way is much more in CNC machine because of rapid movement and higher machine utilization. So the conventional type of arrangement with metal to metal contact, it does not meet the requirement of this CNC machine tool. Okay. So therefore, the design of slide way in a CNC machine tool, it should reduce friction, reduce wear, and satisfy the requirements of movement of the slides and improve the smoothness of the drive. Okay, so to meet these requirements in CNC machine tool slide way, the techniques used include the hydrostatic slide way, linear bearing with balls, rollers or needleless, and surface coating. Okay, so you can see here the slide way used in the CNC machine. Okay, in this figure. Now let us see hydrostatic slide way. Okay, you can see this is the hydrostatic slide way, in which here you can see the oil inlet is, okay, oil inlet also given here. These are the oil pockets. Okay, so in the hydrostatic slide way, air or oil is pumped, okay, here you can see the oil inlet. So from where the oil or the air is pumped into the small pockets or cavities, machined into the carriage or slide, which are in contact with the slide base. Okay. The pressure of the fluid gradually reduces to the atmospheric pressure as it seeps out from the pockets through the gap between slide and slide base. Okay. So the hydrostatic slideway provide almost the frictionless condition for the movement of the slides. So for efficient operation, it is very important that the fluid and slideways are kept clean. Okay, so also the hydrostatic slideway need a very large surface area to provide the adequate support. Okay, so for that the way should be very clean. Okay. Then next one is the linear bearing with balls and roller. Okay, so you can see here the linear ball bushing. Okay, so here in this case, the sliding friction due to the direct metal to metal contact between the slide and slide way is replaced with the rolling friction by the use of anti-friction ball or roller bearing. Here you can see the ball or rollers are used, so that sliding friction is replaced by the rolling friction. Okay, the linear ball boost. Okay, here is shown as this in this figure. It uses the recirculating ball within a boost type of bearing, and these are designed to run along precision ground shaft and offer the frictionless movement over the varying strokes of length with high linear precision. Okay, so for movement along a flat plane, the recirculating linear roller bearings are used. Okay. You can see these are the roller bearing, linear roller bearings are used. The main characteristics of this linear roller bearings is that there is a continuous roller circulation which allows unlimited linear movement. Okay, continuous supply allows the unlimited linear movements. And a linear roller bearing is also called a trackway. Okay, it consists of hardened and precision ground supporting element and a number of cylindrical rollers. Okay, so as in case of roller bearing, the rollers are guided between shoulders of the supporting element with very close tolerances. Okay, the guiding element which prevents the rollers from falling out and sliding against each other. Okay. The guiding elements, it assists in smooth return to the rollers to the loading zone. Okay. So the rollers are in contact with guideway machine on the bed of the machine. Okay. So this arrangement, it provides the smooth and easy movement, but the machine bed has to be machined to an accurate form. So also the machine bed surfaces coming in contact with rollers have to be hardened. So to reduce the problem of accurate machining of machine bed, the hardened steel guides with special guide forms may be attached to the bed of machine, and the rollers can move on the rails. The linear roller bearing can be mounted horizontally for load carrying applications such as machine tool table, or they can be mounted vertically to provide support, guidance and motion for the vertical elements of machine tool. Okay, and the V and flat roller, here you can see V and flat roller arrangement can also be used to provide the frictionless linear movement. Okay, V and flat roller. Okay. Then surface coating. Okay, so the guiding surfaces of the machines are sometimes coated with low friction material such as polytetrafluoroethene. Okay, it is known as PTFE. or replaceable strips of low friction materials are used. So when the strips wear to such an extent that the alignment is in error, so this can be replaced. Okay. Then drive units. Okay. So drive motors are required to perform to drive the main spindle, that is called the spindle drive, and to drive the saddle or carriage. Okay. So spindle. So at the high cutting speeds and high material removal rates, the spindle carrying the workpiece or the tool are subjected to the deflection and thrust forces. Okay. So to ensure the increased stability and minimize the torsional strain, the machine spindle is designed to be short and steep, and the final drive to be spindle is located as near to the front bearing as possible. The rotational accuracy of the spindle is dependent on the quality and design of bearing used. Okay. So the ball or the roller bearings are suitable for high speed and high loads because of low friction, lower wear rate, and lesser liability to incorrect adjustment as of replacement when necessary. Okay. So for efficient service and accuracy, this bearing should be high quality. The vibration and noise in the spindle can be reduced by using the toothed belt and accurate and balanced gear. So adequate supply of lubricant should be ensured to the spindle bearings. Okay. So drive units, as we discussed, there are two types of the spindle drive and axis drive. Okay. So the spindle, to ensure that increase the stability and minimize the torsional strain, machine spindle is designed to be short and stiff, and the final drive to the spindle is located as near to the front bearing as possible. You can see the cut sectional view of the spindle is shown here, okay, of the CNC machine, right? Then in spindle drive, in CNC machines, the large variation in cutting speed is required. So the cutting speed, it may vary from 10 meters per minute to the 1000 meter per minute or more. So the cutting speed are provided by rotation of the main spindle with the help of an electric motor through the suitable gear mechanism. The multi-change gearboxes with fixed speed ratio is used in the conventional machine tools are not suitable for the CNC machine tool. So to obtain the optimum cutting speed and feed, the drive mechanism should be such as to provide the infinitely variable speed between the upper and lower limits. So the infinitely variable speed system used in CNC machines employ either electrical motors, that is AC or DC, or the fluid motors. Okay. So in electric motors, the spindle is normally driven by an electric motor, either an AC current or DC current motor. Okay. And the drive may be direct from the motor to the machine spindle or indirect to the belt or gear transmission. Okay. So if belt drive is employed, then toothed belt are used. And if gear drives are employed, then it is constant meshing type of gearbox, where gears giving the various ratios are usually in constant mesh and operated by remote control electromagnetic or hydraulic clutches. And step drives have the limited use in the CNC machines. Okay. And in fluid motors, the fluid motors are also being used for the driving spindle. Okay. And pressurized oil or air supplied by pump running at the constant speed is directed on to the blades of the motor, so which are capable of giving very high rotational speeds. Okay. Then axis drive. Okay, in axis drive, all the axes in the CNC machines are controlled by the servo motors, and the movement along the different axes is required either to move the cutting tool or the work material to be desired position. Okay, so in order to accomplish the accurate control of position and velocity, stepper motors are generally used for the axis drive. And okay, so the principle of working of the stepper motor is that on receiving a signal, that is the pulse from the control unit, and the motor spindle will rotate through a specific angle called the step. The step size, it depends on the design of the motor, and it generally lies between the 1.8 degree and 7.5 degree, which means that the one rotation of the spindle can be divided into 200 parts. Okay, so if a single pulse is received from the control system, the motor spindle will rotate by one step. So the control unit generates its pulses which corresponding to the program value of movement which required of the tool or work. So the rate of movement of tool or work is controlled by the speed at which the pulses are received by the stepper motor. The distance traveled by the carriage is calculated by the known value of lead of the axis, lead screw, and by counting the number of pulses. So the rate at which the pulses are sent to the stepper motor is accurately governed by the control system. Hence, there is no need to providing the positional or velocity feedback system. So the use of the stepper motor, it considerably simplifies the system as feedback drives are not used. Okay? So the cost of machine tool is also less, and the stepper motors are suitable only for light duty machines due to the low power output. Now, elements of motion transmission, that is called the recirculating ball screw. Okay, so how the sliding friction is replaced by the rolling friction in CNC machine. This question may be asked in exam repeatedly. Okay, so for that, the conventional machines use the lead screw for the motion transmission purposes. And the lead screw with Acme thread is not suitable for the CNC machine due to what? Due to the high friction between the lead screw and nut, and the poor transmission efficiency and inaccuracy due to the backlash. So these problems have been overcome with the use of recirculating ball screw and nut arrangement. Okay, so the approach is to replace the sliding friction by rolling friction. The connection between the screw and nut is through an endless stream of recirculating steel ball. Here you can see these are the green colors. They are the recirculating ball screw. Okay, recirculating balls, and they are continuously rotating inside this spindle screw, right? So the screw thread is actually a hardened and ground ball race in which the steel balls in the nut which circulate. So this balls rotates between the screw and the nut, and at some point these balls are returned to start of the thread in the nut. The rigidity of this drive system, okay, the rigidity of the drive system and positioning accuracy, it can be further improved by the preloading the nut assembly. Okay. The advantages. Okay, so the advantages of using this ball screw and nut assemblies are high efficiency. It means as compared to the conventional lead screw, the efficiency of the ball screw and nut assemblies very high, over the 90%. And the power requirement for the ball screw arrangement is also less due to reduced friction. Then reversibility. So the ball screw and nut assembly is reversible, which makes it possible to back drive the unit. That is by applying axial force to either nut or screw, and the under constraint member can be made to rotate and wear and life. So the recirculating rollers reduce the wear to a minimum and the ball screw. So therefore has the longer life without loss of accuracy and no stick slip. It means the stick slip is the phenomenon which occurs when small movements between the two lubricated elements are required. So the lubricating medium tries to cause the matting element to stick to each other to resist the motion and results in a jerky motion as the matting elements try to stick and then slip during their relative movement. So since the sliding metal to metal contact is substituted by the rolling contact and the stick slip phenomenon is eliminated in the ball screw and nut assembly. So this is the recirculating ball screw. Okay. Then location of transducers are the control elements. So in CNC machines, the control of all the machine functions is totally transferred to the computerized control system. So the control unit should be situated so that it is convenient for the operator to operate the machine from the central place. Okay, central place. So the facilities which a control unit it should offer, they are the indicate the current status and position of various machine tool features and give feedback, allow manual or semi-manual control of machine tool elements, and enables machine tool be programmed. Okay. So the control unit part for allowing the manual control and the programming of the machine, it may be housed on the machine structure itself, or a separate control panel may be installed near the machine, or it may be mounted on a swing arm to allow it to be adjusted according to the position of the operator. Okay. So the facilities for indication of present status of the machine features and to give the feedback have to be provided at suitable places on the machine tool itself, so that the actual movement of slides, etc., it can be monitored and feedback to the control system. Okay. So to monitor the position of the slides, there are two types of the transducers are used. One is the linear transducer and rotary transducer. Okay. So the this linear transducer, it should be positioned near to the sliding surface and lead screw and in an accessible position for the maintenance purpose. And the rotary transducer, it should be located at the driving end of lead screw and at the free end of the lead screw, and on the nut if the fixed screw and rotating nut system is used. Okay, so they are the location of transducer and tool and work holding devices. Okay, so in CNC machine, okay, the cutting time in CNC machine, it ranges from 70 to 80%. So the cutting or the tooling required for this machine tool, it need to be specially designed. Okay. Swarf removal from cutting zone, and swarf disposal from machine tool. So let us see first the swarf removal. So CNC machines are designed to work at optimum cutting condition with the improved cutting tools on a continuous operation basis. Okay, so the cutting time is much more in CNC machine. So the volume of swarf generated is also more. So unless the swarf is quickly and efficiently removed from the cutting job, so it can affect the cutting process and the quality of the finished products. And also the swarf, it cannot be allowed to accumulate at the machine tool because it may hamper the access to the machine tool. So in addition, some auxiliary functions like the automatic components, load, okay, automatic component loading or automatic tool chain, it may also be affected by this accumulation of this swarf. Okay. So to avoid this problem, an efficient swarf control system should be provided with the CNC machine tool with some mechanism to remove the swarf from the cutter and cutting zone, and for the disposal of swarf from the machine tool area itself. Okay. Then swarf removal from cutting zone. Okay. So swarf disposal from machine tool. So continuously operating linear or rotary conveyors are used for the removing this swarf from the machine tool. The system is such that the swarf from the cutting zone, it falls directly on the conveyor and is immediately taken away. So the swarf from the conveyor is taken to disposal bins, which can then be collected and removed from the machine area. Then guarding and safety. Okay, so we have to take care of the protection of machine guideway, safety of operators. Okay, so CNC machines are under continuous automatic operations. So there is a need to protect the machine guideway and to ensure the safety of the operator since the machine run at high speed with automatic auxiliary operations. Okay, so for that the perimeter guards are required, pressure mats are required, light barriers are required. Okay, so we have to take care about this. Okay, so now let us stop here. I hope you can understand very well. Okay, and in our next lecture, we will learn about the part programming, CNC part programming. So thank you very much.